What's going on, everybody? It's Clint from the Die Hard MMA podcast. This is the episode for UFC Vegas 22. Make sure you click that link below, head on over to odds.com, give us a thumbs up, and good luck on all your betting action this week.
All right, man. Let's move this bad boy right along. We are winding down here. We have got Song Kenan or Kenan Song, depending on how you want to go ahead and throw his name out there, taking on Max Payne Griffin. And I actually have a bet placed on this one, so I'm going to let you lead the dance here. I would love to hear your take because I've got a bit of a hot one here.
Well, maybe you're on the Max Payne Griffin side because this opened a bit tighter than the minus 185 he's currently listed on. He is the side, spoiler alert, he is the side that I'm leaning toward. However, it's this counter right hand. Max Griffin's got a great right hand himself, but the counter right hand of Song Kenan seems to be his shot. And, you know, even in fights that Max Griffin's won, we've seen him kind of on some wobbly legs with some of those shots. Song Kenan obviously has a lot of those kickboxing background. I think he even comes from a bit of traditional martial arts because he walks out to the Kung Fu heads, the Wong Fei Hong entrance song. So that's pretty badass. But I'm not sure I will side with my Chinese brethren. I think I do agree with the opening line. However, if this starts to get wide, I would say be careful there. But I'm leaning for Max Griffin as of now.
Okay. So I am on the underdog here. I am on Song Kenan, and I'm glad that you mentioned that right hand because that's the moneymaker here, man. That is my entire read. I know, especially as sports bettors, we try to bet numbers. We try not to get too caught up in the fight is going to play out X, Y, Z. But I'm telling you, man, this is one of those spots where I'm going to pull my crystal ball out. I think that Song Kenan is going to land a right cross in the second round, and he's going to put Max Griffin down. And Max Griffin's having kind of a late career resurgence, but let's be honest, he's mid to bottom tier in the UFC. The only reason that he looked so good in his last fight is he derailed one of these hyped prospects. He has not looked good against most of his UFC caliber competition. You know, he got beat by Alex Morono. He got beat by Alex Oliveira, Cowboy. He lost a split to Thiago Alves, man. In 2019, you should not be losing to Thiago Alves if you're on the UFC's roster. So then he gets a win over Zelim Imadaev, which I'll be honest, he looked good in that fight. And he looked decent in the Brahimaj fight, but he got touched. All three, Morono, Oliveira, Brahimaj, they landed that right hand over and over and over. And this is where you get to the point of you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Max Griffin gets hit with the right hand constantly. It's always something that he gets dinged with, and no one's been able to clip him hard enough to put him away. He also is a decent wrestler, but not so much to the point that he's able to just maul people and keep them underneath him for the entire length of the fight. He lets people back up. I know there's a lot of people talking about the wrestling ability of Song and how in his last fight he got ground out by a guy who's just not that great of a wrestler. He's going to be able to get up out from under a guy like Max Griffin. And then let's talk about the age. Max Griffin is 35. Again, he's no spring chicken. He's got miles on his body. He's a middle-of-the-road type of guy. You're not going to see him going on a title run at this point in his career. He's just not in that spot. Song is only 31, which arguably maybe the back end of his prime, but still kind of the prime years of his career. I think it's all upside here for Song Kenan, and especially with that weakness to the right hand for Max, and that being the best weapon of Song, I'm calling my shot, man. I think he's going to knock him out in the second round. I already put 2 units on Song Kenan. I got him at plus 140, and I didn't realize that the line was going to move the way it did. I'm not great at reading what the market is going to do. It's something I assume people see what I see. I always assume that people are going to jump on what I'm seeing and the market's going to go the same way that I want it to. And that's almost never right. So there's money coming in on Max Griffin. And Song is all the way up to plus 170 in certain spots, man. I may end up putting a ridiculous third unit on Song Kenan if this line continues going higher, because I'm pretty damn sure he's going to knock Max Griffin out on Saturday.
Yeah, this had a dogger pass vibe on it regardless, but I'm feeling that now too. I'll see if my tape study, if you will, kind of matches up. But yeah, like you said, that right hand seems to be the shot to watch out for. And I don't hate the second round call. Excuse me. Song's got 4 second round finishes. More importantly, like you mentioned, the wrestling. It's something that Max Griffin has incorporated in this kind of second UFC half. He's incorporated a lot more takedowns from that Zaleem fight on, I believe. And in the small cage, it's going to be something to watch out for. So I suspect he'll go for those, whether they're in the plan or he gets tagged by a song, hurt, and he's okay, time to go for takedowns. So there's going to be a lot of static in that first round. So he's going to have to get up and build off of past success. So I don't hate the second round. It is kind of funny, though, that you see Colby Covington is technically the only guy to stop Max Griffin, because I feel like every Max Griffin fight we see him, he's getting rocked in. He's fighting to his opponent's level. He's fighting their style of fight, and he's barely making it to the end of the fight. And that is hard to be confident in. So I don't blame you for that shot at all. I may even tell you if this line movement, like you said, keeps going in the way that even if you pick Max Griffin, I'm not sure if it should be going that confidently in that direction.
Yeah, and that's you. I'm glad you said the fact that he fights to his opponent's level. Even if Song doesn't get that knockout, you're going to be live on a decision. If this thing goes all 15 minutes, it's not going to be a runaway. It's not going to be a dominating Max Griffin type of performance, because he simply doesn't do that with caliber quality opponents. It'll be close, it'll be hairy, and we'll be live to get that split decision. And shout out to PK Wood in the chat, trying to speak to my inner degenerate and talk me into making a ridiculous 5-unit bet on Song by knockout, which don't tempt me, man. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I've tried very, very hard to control myself when it comes to my betting. And that's the kind of stuff that I would love to, like, just back the truck up. But you got to be careful with these underdogs. The favorites are favorites for a reason, and I'm not always right. So, in fact, I'm right. I'm wrong a lot. So you got to be careful in those spots. Very, very tempting.
Indeed.
All right.